Welcome back everybody. The Mar Thoma Sleeva is the symbol of all Mar Thoma Nasranis and has a rich history and meaning. The Syriac word Sleeva means cross and is used to denote the blooming cross without any additional elements. The Syriac word Mar means Lord, therefore Mar Sleeva means Lord Cross or Holy Cross. The Mar Thoma Sleeva is the Sleeva on a lotus and 3 steps of a descending dove. In this video I will talk about the symbolism, history and liturgical use of the Mar Thoma Sleeva, as well as several important examples of the Mar Sleeva. The Syriac Christian tradition has developed a rich symbolism and use of the Mar Sleeva. According to the book by Reverend Dr. Nanagata, Acts of Thomas describes the apostle performing miracles with a simple sign of the cross. And the symbolism of cross gained prominence in the Syriac tradition earlier than it did in other traditions. The different aspects of the Mar Thoma Sleeva have different meanings. The Sleeva and bud symbolise resurrected Mar Nasranis, with the blooming bud specifically symbolising the new life given to people by the resurrection of our Lord. The descending dove represents the Ruha de Kurishu, and the 3 steps are the steps to Mount Gargulta. The lotus is an Indian aspect, and it can be seen as the Christian faith erected on Indian culture. Many churches around the world have their own crosses. The Mar Thoma Sleeva comes from St. Thomas the Apostle, hence the name. Around many of the ancient Mar Thoma Sleevas, you can see Pahlavi inscriptions, which is the ancient language of Persia, because the Nasranis used to have Persian bishops in Malabar. The arrival of the Portuguese in the 16th century led to the disappearance of the Mar Thoma Sleeva, but they've been revived and are currently in liturgical use. The 16th century Jornada of Dom Alexis de Menezes clearly states that the Nasranis only had the Mar Thoma Sleeva on the Madhbaha at that time. Mylapore in Chennai, India, is the site where Mar Thoma Sleeva was martyred and buried, and it's an ancient pilgrim centre. The miraculous Sleeva of Mylapore is situated in Periyamala. On the 18th of December 1558, the cross sweated blood during the Evangelion reading in Holy Kurbana. This day is now celebrated as a feast day. The Pahlavi inscription on the side of the cross says, "My Lord Christ, have mercy upon Aphas, son of Chelhabukht, the Syrian who cut this." Mylapore is mentioned in the Vardhamana Booksum, visited by Mar Gariati and Mar Thoma Cross. According to Dr. Caitlin Green, it was also visited by the Anglo-Saxons in 883 AD, to fulfill King Alfred the Great's vow to give alms after a success in battle. The Anglo-Saxons were a group of tribes who settled and ruled in England after the Romans from 410 to 1066 AD. The East Syriac liturgy has been used in India since the 1st century, and the Mar Thoma Sleeva is venerated greatly in Syro-Malabar liturgy. It's placed on the right side of the Madhbaha, symbolising the body of Mar Nasranis, while the Evangelion on the opposite side of the Madhbaha symbolises Mar Nasranis' soul. It's used in many processions to commemorate the many different aspects of Mar Nasranis' life. You can find out more about this by watching my video on processions. There's also a separate Mar Thoma Sleeva fixed on the east wall of the Kanke. The Mar Thoma Sleeva is stitched on the back of every paina, which I mentioned in my video investments. The Kai Sleeva is a handheld sleeva used to bless, showing the authority to bless in the name of Allah. It's kissed during Rasa Kurbana by the congregation. The veneration of the Mar Sleeva is not limited to Holy Kurbana. It's possessed in incense during the Ramsha Yama Pratna. Historically significant Mar Sleevas are not just found in India. In Sri Lanka, Anuradhapura, an excavation in 1912 revealed a granite column with the Anuradhapura Cross, which is remarkably similar to the Mar Thoma Cross. The Cross of St. Peter's Basilica in Rome is an example of a Sleeva, although it lacks the steps, lotus and dove of a Mar Thoma Sleeva. It's a Sleeva because it has the 4 blooming buds on each tip. Goa is the site of a pre-Portuguese Nasrani community backed by evidence. On the Agassiz coast, a Latin cross crumbled, revealing a Mar Thoma Sleeva buried inside and about to fall into the sea. It's now safely kept for people to visit. The books of Father H.O. Mascarenhas mention the use of Mar Thoma Sleeva in Goa. Gordon Allure Church is in the Palai Parki. It was consecrated in 845 AD in the name of Mar Thoma or Mar Plot. The sleeva in this church was discovered when the wall plaster covering it fell off, revealing a Mar Thoma Sleeva. Mar Thoma Sleevas are not just found in Syro-Malabar churches, but all Nasranis venerate them. Corte in Valladolid is a Jacobite church and has two ancient sleevas in the two side altars of the church, and they are venerated with importance. Arlingard Church is in the Archaeological Park and is the parish of Mar Thoma. There is an important ancient cross kept in a small chapel with clear Pahlavi inscriptions around the sides. The basis of all crosses is the cross of Mar Thoma and his resurrection. The cross was an instrument of punishment before it became the sign of Christianity and salvation. The Mar Thoma Sleeva is not just a symbol of our religion, but our rich history, which formed the liturgy, theology, spirituality, discipline, and culture that we practice today. The Mar Thoma Sleeva was venerated by our ancestors, who struggled and persevered to preserve the Mar Thoma Sleeva throughout history, and passed down the Mar Thoma Margam and Mar Sleeva to us. We now have the opportunity and responsibility to do the same for generations to come. Thank you for watching.